All right, you guys, what's going on? Good morning. This your boy Town Biz. So I'm on my way to work. So I thought I would talk about this because this is very interesting. Shout out to 7-8. And I went and did a little research, and we definitely gonna talk about this. We gonna have a live stream, and we gonna probably have a talk about boxing and race, and how I wish a lot of these black boxers would stop lying and saying boxing isn't race oriented. Boxing, the whole premise of boxing is really synonymous with race, going all the way back to Jack Johnson. So can we please stop with this stuff? We the only ones that talk this old boxing isn't about race, and we the only ones when somebody disrespects us via Abel Sanchez, and a few other people, and Teofimo Lopez, we want to sit up here and give them a pass, Ryan Garcia, and then we try to call ourselves pointing the finger at each other. And, that type of stuff. And see, that's where the word Sambo and coon and, those type of terms come from when we call or reference black people to those terminologies, because that's technically what it is. When you a dude that go out of your way to call yourself, going after somebody that looks like you versus somebody that don't look like you. I can accept somebody who tries to call it right down the line, but when you try to pretend that there isn't any racism and stuff isn't, related to race, especially in boxing, come on now. So, in case you guys don't know, Claressa Shields basically blew Layla Ali out the frame. Now, I want you to go look at the video that Claressa Shields put out that's about 20 minutes long, where she basically countered everything that Layla Ali came with and tried to insinuate towards Claressa Shields. And I've been saying this about Layla Ali. I've been saying this for years about Layla Ali. That Layla Ali is a lightweight hater. And I'm not going to say lightweight, and that she don't like, that she had the same type of mentality Floyd has. She doesn't want anybody to get more attention than her. And to be honest with you, and I'm going to say this again, nobody really gives a damn about Layla Ali. And the only reason why she got a little bit of momentum and gained a little bit of clout is because of who her father was. And that's just the truth. Say what you want to say, but Claressa Shields did get it from the mud. That's just factual. And then Claressa Shields exposed Layla Ali for not being on code. And I said this about her. Now, I hadn't even seen that video. You gotta keep it 100. Didn't Claressa Shields accuse Layla Ali of doing the same shit that I said she was doing in reference 10 years ago, when she was basically saying, oh, my father is definitely rooting for Manny Pacquiao. And I said that Layla Ali has been caught in lies before. And Claressa Shields said, hey, Layla told me don't go to the Olympics because it ain't no money in it. Now, as far as the Ronda Rousey stuff go, I don't care about Ronda Lousy. I don't care about her, but I understand where she was going. Look at the video. Layla Ali said all lives matter. I have sponsors, so I just can't say Black Power. No, I have to say it behind the scenes. I can't post stuff like that. Her father would have never said nothing like that. Her father was out there on the front line. Keep in mind, her father was stripped of his championship because he refused to go fight in Vietnam. Well, we know Layla wouldn't have ever did anything like that because she cared too much about her sponsors. Hey, go look at the video. And I said Layla Ali is like that. She responded to that video that me and Tiki put out. Like I said, she didn't say our names. Listen. I'm not talking about Claressa Shields about being here. I'm talking about Laila Ali. We stick it to the subject right here. I'm gonna get to all that. I've already spoke on the issues I had with Claressa Shields. Claressa Shields have issues too. I already spoke. We talking about Laila Ali. Laila Ali been a hater. That's her mentality. So we gonna stick to the subject right here. Got to do that. I'm not getting off subject. We talking about Laila Ali on this video. Laila Ali been doing this. She been doing this. She been a hater. She just like Floyd Mayweather. She don't want nobody to get attention other than her. Laila Ali didn't do nothing for women's boxing. Once again, nobody cared about Laila Ali when she fought. And at the end of the day, Laila Ali didn't fight nobody, but she fought nobodies. Her most relevant fight was a washed up past day prime, Christy Martin. Claressa Shields is the one that made people start paying attention to women's boxing. That's just how it is. That's just how it goes. Claressa Shields is the one that got a crowd that was predominantly women to come see her fight in Detroit. So Laila Ali been doing this. She been a hater. She been poking the bear. She been taking shots. At the end of the day, if they ask somebody, how would they fare against somebody that's currently fighting versus of yesteryear? Well, here's the thing. And she say, oh, there's nobody on my level and I would have knocked her out and all that kind of stuff. Well, instead of just saying, well, it would have been a good fight. It would have been a competitive fight. I mean, me being a fighter, of course I got to go with myself. But no, she said, I'll knock her out. She ain't on my level and all that kind of stuff. Now, if she had went that direction, I think it wouldn't have been that bad. It's just like Joe Calzaghe was saying that he would have beat Andre Ward with ease. And Andre Ward was like, okay, well, you know what? If that's the case, come out of retirement then. So you have to understand. So you have to, listen, I can't. Yeah. Oh, okay. So that means you jumped on the bandwagon. Okay, that's cool. I understand it. So basically, you don't really follow boxing. Well, see, that's the thing. I follow boxing. I cover boxing. I've covered boxing for years. I'm a credential media member. So here's the thing. Claressa Shields is far more famous than Laila Ali ever was. Laila Ali didn't even make half the amount in one fight that Claressa Shields made in one fight. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you fighting a losing battle. So I'm just keeping it a buck. Laila Ali retired 24-0. She refused to fight Ann Wolfe. And like I said, her biggest win is against Christy Martin, who was past her prime, way past her prime. Sort of like what Floyd Mayweather did. Where Floyd Mayweather had this thing about not really wanting to fight prime boxers. Well, then you would know that nobody cared about Laila Ali. Was Laila Ali a high-profile fighter? Was Laila Ali headlining fights, getting put on Showtime, getting put on HBO? No. Getting put on DAZN? No. So, I'm going to say this again. Laila Ali has been this way. And she never transitioned women's boxing into what it was today. It was because of Claressa Shields. And like I said before, I had issues with Claressa Shields when she was sitting up there making these videos about that she want to fight a man, she could beat Keith Thurman, Triple G, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, all right. She was being delusional. And then I'm glad that Claressa Shields came to her senses. And like I said, Laila Ali only cares about Laila Ali. At the end of the day, all she had to do is say she had no interest in fighting. She the one that kept putting it out there. She said this about Ronda Rousey. Oh, for the right price, I'll come out of retirement and fight her. She the one that said, oh, it'll take $10 or $15 million for me to consider coming out of retirement. Okay, well, Claressa Shields calls her bluff. Then all of a sudden, it takes her 3 months to respond with this indoctrinated video where she tries to play the victim. And that's what Laila Ali does. She tries to play the victim. Now, I'm going to say this about Claressa Shields. Has Claressa Shields said and done stuff that I didn't care for? Yeah, absolutely. But it is what it is. Once again, Claressa Shields got boxing where it is today, where women are actually paying attention to it and watching it. Nobody cared about Laila Ali when she fought. So, and if you say you did, stop the cap. Like I said, a lot of people is just jumping on the bandwagon. You can't argue with me when it pertains to boxing because, like I said, I cover boxing. I've been watching boxing since the 70s. You would briefly hear segments about Laila Ali fighting. Nobody was beaten down. Nobody was beating down doors to get into conference rooms and ballrooms where Laila Ali primarily fought. Claressa Shields was able to get 17,000 people to come see her in Detroit and in the United States. Now keep in mind the big gap between Laila Ali and Claressa Shields. Now, as far as Laila Ali being too old, well, you know what? Floyd Mayweather is possibly about to fight Manny Pacquiao at age 49. My thing is with Laila Ali, she egged this on. All she had to do is say, well, I just can't take the fight right now because, I have no interest in it. I'm retired. But she the one that refused to answer. And if she was to take the fight and go into a fight with Claressa Shields, she's not the A side. Claressa Shields is the A side. The only A that she got that's going in her favor is that she got an A in her name for Ali. She is not the A side. She is not anybody's A side. And if she thinks that she's delusional. So, with that being said, truth is truth, fact is fact. Claressa Shields went pro, let me see. She went pro, I think, in 2016, if I'm not mistaken. She went pro in 2016. Okay. So Laila Ali retired like in the early 2000s or the mid 2000s. So basically, female boxing was at a stalemate until Claressa Shields came along. Once again, Laila Ali wasn't being an ambassador to the sport. She started to do all different type of other stuff. And like I said, she got exposed in the video, and that's just the bottom line. Why argue about it? Fact is fact. Fact is fact. Fact is fact. Nobody. All Laila Ali had to do is just say, hey, I'm not interested. She the one that kept putting that out there. Oh, for the right price, I consider it. for the right, but then she gets an offer, what she said it would take, then all of a sudden, she draws a blank. All of a sudden, I'm gonna answer when I get ready to. So it basically took her 3 months to respond with some fake video, some fake cut and paste video that she put out. Of course she gonna make it look like she not the villain. So that's what happened. And Claressa Shields counted everything she came with. Remember, all lives matter to Laila Ali. Nah, I can't sit up there and say Black Power because I have sponsors. And like I said, at the end of the day, she used this for 3 months to promote those lousy shows that she's on and to promote a YouTube channel that nobody cared about because everybody knew she was talking about Claressa Shields. Oh, I'm not even going to say her name. She been clout chasing. She been clinging on to people, clinging on to Claressa Shields. So at the end of the day, this would have went away. All she had to do is just say, hey, I'm retired. But see, Laila had to find a way to try to talk around this and get around this because her bluff got called. See, Claressa Shields really came with the money. And for people to say it was a fake offer, you don't know what you talking about because her manager is the guy that used to work at HBO. And he worked in the pay-per-view department. So the offer was real. It was an escrow. All Laila had to do is just say, no, I'm retired. This offer was made way back in July. All she had to do is just say, you know what? I thought about it. I'm retired. But if this was like maybe even 10 years ago, I would have considered it. But unfortunately, I'm retired. She the one that refused to answer because she got put, because she got backed into a corner. Laila Ali got backed into a corner and she was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Why you think it took her 3 months to try to come with something to talk? So instead of her just saying no, she makes a video that's really a hit piece on Claressa Shields. That's all it was a hit piece. Oh, I know what I'll do. Instead of me just answering yes or no, do I want to fight? I'll just put out a hit piece on Claressa Shields, making it look like Claressa Shields is envious of me and all this kind of stuff. Instead of just saying no, we all was waiting. If she would have came back and said a week later, yeah, she would have got, at the end of the day, yeah, she would have took a bit of a hit for saying, okay, you got your bluff called and you ducked. But instead, she wastes 3 months. Oh, ain't nobody gonna bully me. Who was trying to bully you? Ain't nobody gonna tell me what to do. Who was telling you what to do? You the one that said how much it would take for you to get back in the ring. Like I said, you open up this can of worms. You open up Pandora's box. This is on you, Laila Ali. You did this. Nobody else. All you had to do is just say, hey, I'm retired. Hey, I'm retired. It sounds good, but I've been retired for so long. And then she the one that keeps saying, she the one that was going on interview after interview. Hey, I still train. I'll train as if I'm, I'll train as if I'm getting ready to fight. Once again, she had a chance to close the door on the subject matter. Like I said, you egged this on for over 3 months. When all you had to do is when Laila Ali was offered the money, and it was a legitimate offer because, like I said, that dude used to work for HBO. All you had to do is say, hey, I'm retired. I don't think I could get, and then she was sitting up saying, and then she also said, well, for me to consider it, I have to get a tune-up fight, and it'll take me about 8 months. So once again, Laila was the one that kept this going on. She had plenty of chances. She had plenty of chances to close the door on this subject matter, but she left it open. She just didn't think she was going to get her bluff called, and that's all that happened. That's all that happened. She got her bluff called. She didn't know how to get out of this. So basically, she had to figure out, okay, what I'll do is instead of making it look like I'm ducking, I'll just put out a hit piece on Claressa Shields, making it look like I'm the victim. Or that Claressa Shields is coming after me and all this. Like I said, Laila Ali didn't do shit from women's boxing. I just got to be the one to say it. I'm not finna sit up here and praise her because I'm not finna get, like y'all women say, hey, like y'all women say, when it pertains to Father's Day or giving a man credit for doing right by his kids and his family, when y'all say, oh, I'm not finna give a man credit for something he supposed to do. Well, I'm not finna give you credit for something that you didn't do because you didn't. I didn't hear Laila Ali when Claressa Shields came about going on social media saying, hey, watch Claressa Shields fight. Hey, congratulations, Claressa, for being the first person, the first female boxer in women's sports to make $1 million in a fight. No, she wasn't doing that. And I'm going to tell you this again. She don't show no support for Nico. Nico is her nephew. Nico is her nephew. She don't sit up there and say, congratulations, Nico, on your victory. Now, Nico has 2 losses. She didn't say, hey, Nico, keep your head up. And that's supposed to be her family. That's supposed to be her family. Let me tell you something. I have a niece that raps. And I always would show her love because that's my niece. She hasn't been, I done seen Nico fight at least 3 or 4 times. Laila ain't never came to none of his fights. So once again, she not really family oriented. Now, I already know what's up with you know, Ali and his ex-wives and all the women he got children with. I mean, this is documented. I mean, it is what it is. And Nico, Laila Ali's nephew, said that Claressa Shields would win. And we all know that, you know, we all know Kalia, how she feels, because based off, you know, well, all I got to say is if you've seen the movie Ali, where Will Smith starred as Ali, when Ali was getting ready for his fight with George Foreman, recipe George Foreman, well, just watch the scene where he's walking around with the lady in Africa. That's supposed to be Laila's mother, if I'm not mistaken. Now, I don't want to dive deep into Muhammad Ali, but listen, it's documented. This is factual that Muhammad Ali had an issue with infidelity. And I'm not trying to talk about him or nothing, but this is fact. This is documented. This is no secret. Everybody knows this. Everybody knows this. So I'm just saying, Nico didn't, you know what I'm saying? Nico don't have nothing to do with what went on between his grandmother and Laila's mother. That's still your nephew. So once again, that shows you what type of person that Laila Ali is. I don't know why people get mad at me or people get mad at other people that are spewing the truth. See, here's the thing. I already knew when I saw the video that people was gonna jump the gun and quickly just side with Laila Ali, because I listened to like 5 minutes of that video and I already knew that Laila Ali was lying. Laila Ali is a liar. She a liar and she a clout chaser. Tell me what part of the video where I'm lying. So I'm just saying, what part of I'm lying at? I've never seen her at any of Nico's fights. Once again, that's supposed to be her family. They share the bloodline. They share the Ali bloodline. And I'm gonna say this again. Nico don't have nothing to do with what happened between his grandmother, Kalia, and Layla's mother. That's still your nephew. That's still your family. And you still should be showing support. So I'm just keeping it 100. And I mess with Nico. So like I said before, Layla had a way out. She egged this on for months, trying to promote stuff that nobody cared about. And I'm going to say this again. I think Layla Ali have light-skinism. Allegedly. I got to say allegedly. So, you know, I do think that she had this thing with Claressa Shields, possibly because Claressa Shields is a dark-skinned woman. So I'm just saying, I do think that played a role in it because, you know, black people, that's been another issue with us. The whole, you know, light skin, dark skin thing. So I do think that I do think that Layla Ali got that condition, light skinitis. Now, for those who have seen me, I'm on the lighter side, but I don't have light skinitis. Cause I was one of them dudes. I didn't discriminate when it came to women. I didn't care if she was dark skinned. I didn't care if she was light skinned. Okay, I just didn't care. If you was fine, you was fine. But you know, some people have that. Some people think like that. Just like on Pop the Balloon. That's another reason why I don't like or care for Pop the Balloon. Oh, he's too dark. Or, well, I like my man on the light side. Dude, I mean, for real, do it really matter? I mean, come on, man. Like what? So I'm just saying, I just really do think that Layla Ali got light skinitis. No, it's all good. We could have dialect without being disrespectful to each other. It's cool. Appreciate you. Come back. Come back. All right, so let me talk about this Tim Bradley, Jay Leon Love thing. Now, this is funny. Ever since I did this interview with Brian Norman Jr. or a few other people I got to give, but I've been talking about this for years. And shout out to Mail City Boxing. This whole thing about the green print about, you know, Floyd and how Floyd, this whole thing about race. I wish black people in particular, or should I say black fighters, would stop like trying to pretend boxing isn't race oriented. Like when you try to say boxing isn't about race, when I say that's that sport is predicated on race. Race, tribalism, all that kind of stuff. So I felt it ironic that Jay Leon Love was going in on Tim Bradley, and he kind of called, hey man, you talking all this black stuff. That's what see how they doing you, boy? See how they doing you, boy? I'm sitting up here cooking, and then you know what I'm saying? They messing with my stream. They messing with my stream because your boy is cooking. But we gonna finish this conversation because we gonna talk about boxing and race. We definitely gonna talk about it. See, they messing with my stream, man. Your boy cooking with gasoline, and then they trying to mess with my stream. I don't even like that. But listen, we gonna continue this conversation. We definitely gonna do a live where we gonna talk about this. We gonna definitely talk about Tim Bradley and Jay Leon Love. But anyway, appreciate you guys being here. It's your boy Town. I'm out.